Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Maria Designs. I am Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you are back. Welcome if you are new. The first thing that I want to do, it's not the end of the month, but tomorrow will be the end of the month. I wanted to give a shout out to my new members. My new members, where are you? I have my iPad because everything is on the phone, and I'm on the phone right now. And so Zavella's Golden Retriever. Let me tell you about Golden Retrievers because your icon is a Golden Retriever. My best friend who lived next door to me, my girlfriend Denise, she was a nurse, but she was an actress also, and her husband was a director. And did you hear the bird? Hi, Denise. I think that her golden retriever, Ani, was best friends with my little Honor. And he used to come to my door in the morning. And Denise had this laugh that just sounded like silver bells ringing. You used to want to make her laugh because her laugh was so infectious. And Ani would come out the door, and it didn't matter where he was going for a walk, or where she was going for a walk, or whatever. She first came to my house and would knock on the door. Oh my God. And she knew I kept dog biscuits. I love Goldens. And Denise would crack up. And there were days I was not there because I was in New York. I was going back and forth. And Denise would crack up. She's like, she's not home. Honor's not there. And Ani would just wait. She knew what she was doing because she knew Denise would eventually give her a dog biscuit. Canadian Diamond Dot Witch. Thank you. She keeps rejoining every month. And Marlene Broomfield. Oh my gosh, look at that smile. Hello, Marlene. I hope I get a chance to chat with all of you that are new to the channel. Thank you for joining. Yeah, let's have a chat. The next live member meeting is April the 5th. Okay, so today's Sunday, which means it's Self-Care Sunday. And what I have been doing this week, being that I was sick, I had to do something. I just can't rest. And what I started to do was take my writings from Self-Care Sunday and put them on my phone. And then I decided to share them with my members because so many of you went out and bought the book. And this is the book that we use mostly when we're diamond painting. So I'm going to leave this here. Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I didn't put up I'm actually putting up my own writings from my notebook to my members. So I didn't put up March 28th, but we're reading, is today the 30th? No, I put up March 28th. I didn't put up March 29th. Oh, I have to read the 30th. We'll read it together. That's how we roll here. That's it. So, okay, I loved this week, but let's get to some diamond painting. I'll show you what I did last night after I said goodbye to you. I kept going. Okay, so after I said goodbye to you, I kept going. And I took out one of the putties that I had mixed together. That's like pink, purple, and blue. It was one of my tips, being that the pink, like I said, I feel like Goldilocks. Blue is just right. Pink is too soft. The purple is like somewhere in between. The blue is just right. So I figured, let me mix some of my putties together. And I'm sorry I didn't have that on camera. I didn't think about it yesterday when I was, just really, I had a little bit of energy and I was talking so quickly because I wanted to get it all in. But I actually was able to keep going for a while. I've been sick. Oh, I missed a row here. I may have to put this in. Okay, so here's where I got last night. So I love the way that this is coming together. It's like an oil painting. It's so pretty. I feel one. I keep my plastic on. I probably got done. Oh yeah, I did get done this because John came in the room and he was like, "Are you coming downstairs? Do you want to, do something? You want to watch a movie?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I was fading though, and I feel bad because I've been sick all week, and I have him watching Adolescence, so he's on this. I said just catch up a little bit. 1 and 2 were great, but 3 and 4 were my favorite episodes. So I keep the plastic on because it kind of makes the painting sensitive, and I could see where any drills are popped up, like this one. You hear that? And I could feel this one here. There you go. There's one here. So you could just feel it really easily where any one of your drills is popped up. Now, that one's not popped up. I just popped it in, so then the plastic gets a little disformed. Gets a little deformity, and you think, oh, it's still popping up. It's not. It's just that you popped that part in. This one's popped up. So you hear that? You hear how it crunches right in? I could feel it. That one's popped up. This one's this whole line here, huh? He was probably standing in here talking to me because this is the part that I did last. And then look, I left a whole other row here. Where am I going? I keep the plastic on too for this so that it gives it a little slip to glide through your lines. And also, you know, straighten things out. Also, not only just to glide through the lines, but you're not hitting the glue underneath. Because when you hit the glue, you notice it comes up here, and then sometimes it gets pulled up. We don't want to do that. So I keep this on. I'm going to be keeping this on because I'm not done. I thought I was done. I would have did this before I sat down. I wanted to show you something complete. But I really like the way that this is going. And what I'm going to do, because this part is confetti, is I'm going to keep going up. Let me just turn this around a little bit so you can see without turning anything off with my big hands. So I'm going to keep going up, and I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to come back down. I need some time before I get back to that confetti. And, you know, that's for me, for my own little, you know, my own little self-care here. But I love the way that this is turning out. These are my new pens. I unpackaged them yesterday. I have a few more, but I'm going to wait during the week. Let's use these for a while to unpackage those. My little tweezer, put him there. And again, I had this mixture, and it was working really nice last night. So I'm going to keep it in there. And we're not going to work on this. We're going to work on something different for Self-Care Sunday. So let me get that one out. Get this stray drill out of the way. So I have something that I've already unboxed, and this is called, am I in the shot? Sunbray Blue and Gold. This is a diamond art kit. Is it a round? Oh, it's a round diamonds. Thank you for writing it right on there. Round diamonds. Round diamond. I think this might be an old kit, but I did unbox it. I did get this on Amazon, but you can go over to Diamond Art Club and give them the you give them something on your receipt. I can't remember what it is, and you will get your points for this. Those of you that know, please put it in the comments. I only did this once where I went over to Diamond Art Club and said I made a purchase through Amazon. I think you just need proof of purchase, and they will give you your points for this. How lovely is that? And I have to get my Diamond Art Club points. I think they're going to expire. I think I read that. I don't know. Don't go. Anything I'm saying this week, I have to double check everything. Diamond Art Club, do what makes you sparkle. I always love Diamond Art Club's boxes. Look at that. I just love that. I'm like a cat. I get like, you know, I'm like a little kid. Scan me, get 10% off your next purchase, which I always forget. I tell you guys, I don't want you guys to forget, and I forget. I love this little painting. I saw it on Queen of Diamonds, and I was like, I need a little color. I said it last night. I need a little color blocking in my life, and I need a little bit of Diamond Art Club. I think Diamond Art Club always had the best drills. I need a little Diamond Art Club, and I need a little, you know, color blocking. And I also need, do I have to zoom out here? Let's zoom out. Yeah, there we go. Oh, gosh. Any of you know Van Gogh's cat? I love my shirts. This is Van Gogh's cat. This is version 3 of Sunflowers, of the cat knocking the vase over. I'm going to have a new desk, too. This was my mother-in-law's, and John, you know, I'm like, don't get rid of it. I want it. I'm sitting on my sofa. I'm going to move down to the floor, though. So it's a nice size. I'm just going to flatten it out, and you do that by just lifting up your corner, letting it come back down. I see a little bit of a river here. Let me clean off my desk a little bit. Okay, I got down to the table level. The reason why I changed this table is because I sit on my bolsters, and I feel like this table comes up a little bit better for me, you know, kind of level where I want to be the diamond paint. Let's move you out of the way. I'll be using this case also. It doesn't, I have so many tables in here. My cute little table that I bought from Temu. Well, I didn't buy it. They actually sent it to me. You know, that free thing is for real. They will send you free gifts. And they sent me that little cute little fuzzy little table. I just wanted to get my liner out. I should have got my bigger one out to get that little divot out of there. I don't know what I'm going to do about washi tape and stuff. I don't know. I feel like washi tape is making every entry into my life. I actually had a company. It was so funny. A company contacted me and they wanted to partner up. I'm like, me? You want me for washi tape? That's funny. But I do, you know, when I do my book stuff, my journaling stuff, I use washi tape. So, you know, maybe I will. I don't know. Their email was kind of confusing. I feel like all we do is work for companies. Like, well, if you want a partner, here's what you got to do. You got to go over here and you got to pull this and, you know, find our template. How about you send it to me? Why do I have to find it? You want me, you know, like, you know, I'm more than happy to take a look. And they have like these washi kind of gift sets that are cute. And I thought, okay, you know, maybe they saw the Van Gogh because they actually showed me the Van Gogh one. So how do I want to approach this today? I have my light board because I'm not going to get cocky again and not use a light board. How do I want to approach this? From what direction? So this is a Diamond Art Club. It's called Sun Rays Blue and Gold. It is so pretty. It's a 32.8 centimeter by 50.7 centimeters, or it's a 13 by 20 inch. I'm thinking about sealing the ends. Do I want to use one of my stickers that I have? Because you guys know I love my stickers. I put the pearls on. The pearl stickers I put around Chosen. I'm waiting for the rest of them to come in. Orders. I'm hoping that my orders come in before I leave. I don't want to have anything waiting on my step. And maybe I'll just use like... But in the meantime, okay, I'm over here. This is how it goes. This is a creative process here for me. Am I going to be able to slide that underneath there? Yeah. I had to put a piece of marble on my tripod because my phone is too heavy for the tripod, and the tripod kept tipping over. That was the day that I was telling you all that the house, my room was haunted. Had the Song of India out. All right. I'm going to have to put something down. Let me get some washi. Washi, washi, washi. And so, yes, in the beginning, I did go out and buy a lot of washi. And here I even have some thin washi to make the lines, you know, on the canvas. So this is brand new. Let's get started here. New. This drives me mad. It really does. Okay. I love it and I hate it at the same time. So let's start here. This is the kind of plastic that I don't like on top. It's really, really thin. It's really thin. And don't ever get the top part of your paper, of your cellophane on the sticky part. You'll never get it off. It's a nightmare. I go really loose around my edges because, well, no, I mean, I go really tight. I try and make a tight line around the edges. I go really loose on top. I would like to get this closer, but I end up using my aligner when I come over here, or I have my ruler, which I just could have used that, you know, since I was so undecisive about putting washi down. I think that was a little bit too tight because of those little divots in there. Let's go all the way down. Come on. So the washi is so pretty. I remember when I worked in the ink pad and I didn't know what this was. I'm going back years ago, and I think they called it like rice tape. Yeah, it wasn't called washi. I think it was called like rice tape. I'm wondering, is this a rice paper that they print on, and that's why it was called that? I'm gonna just burnish this down a little bit. And you guys know I make an invisible washi too with this, but I just feel like, I'm playing catch up right now from being sick, and I don't want to hold you guys up. And we got Self-Care Sunday, and I have the iPad out so that I can read my readings that are on my phone right now. I just don't like want to, I try and read my handwriting, because even when I was transcribing when I decided that I was going to do this for my members, because a few of you, I know at least 3 of you went out and bought the book, and you're following along with me during the week, and you're following along with the book on Self-Care Sunday. I couldn't even read my own handwriting. And then I thought, well, I think I'm going to put my reflections on here, because I really only do it once a week. I only do it on Self-Care Sunday, but maybe just, maybe it'll open a discussion. I don't know. It was really difficult in the beginning because YouTube was like by doing Self-Care Sunday, it was knocking my algorithm off, even though I was diamond painting. So, the reason why I married the two together is because I find this to be a meditative practice. It is for me, and I think that people diamond paint. I mean, listen, they're putting self-care tips on the boxes. Like, it'll reduce stress. It can lower your blood pressure. It's a meditative art form. Just like coloring. There's a lot of people that like to color out there. I have, oh my God, one day, guys, I have to show you the cart that's next to me of all my colored pencils and crayons and graphite and pastels and oil pastels and, what I do when I art journal. And I was thinking, I think at one time I had classes on, was it Buy Me a Coffee? I think it was on I think Buy Me a Coffee is still there. Even though I don't promote it. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's just one more thing for me to look at, I'm trying to get reacquainted with my Instagram. My Facebook page is just like dormant. It's Elisa Maria Designs, but I'm so bad. But there's only so many hours in a day, you guys, and it's like you got to pick and choose. When you're a one-man show, you got to pick and choose what it is that you want. And, there's some, I think I'm going to try and go to John's reunion with him today. And I'm like, oh God, that means I got to get dressed up. I got to, just the thought of it is just like, and he's like, no, it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, what? I have Self-Care Sunday to do that. He's like, well, go do your thing. He's like, and it's really casual. It's just right down here in the city at Miller's. And, I'm wearing jeans. You could, I was like, oh, well, thank God for that. Thank God. That piece has the tape on there. I'll get that later. And so here we go. 10 centimeters. Here we go. I have this. Do I have my crayon with me? I feel like everything is like always on the other side of the room when I need it. But I usually use a little crayon you can write right on here. And I do you guys know I do a lot of the time. I was like, where's the ruler? Didn't I just take the ruler out? If it didn't have this piece of putty on there, I would have never seen it because it's clear. So, let's start here where we're going to be diamond painting. Am I backwards? Yes, you're backwards. Wake up. Drink that coffee that you brought upstairs. Okay, so let me just see where this is going to come in, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I think I want to capture the whole gold part because it's so much color blocking. Do I want to do that? So we section off in a 10 centimeter sections, those things, those blocks. They're 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter or 4 inches by 4 inches, if that helps. And so this is going to have 4, 8, and then 12. So let me go down this way first, because now I got to play with this tape here. Do I want the black or do I want no, let's go with this one, because, it's right here. And I'm just going to I only do up to the section that I'm doing because, I'll have it all over the place. You know, if I washi tape the whole page, it's all over the place. I love these people. I'm like, what kind of washi tape do you use? When I watch Katie, I'm always invoking Katie at Diamonds and Washi. When I see her do anything with washi tape, like her canvases are all done. You know, her washi tape never moves. Never moves. It from the day she puts it on, it looks like that until the day she's done. I don't know. Does she cut her sections off? Yeah, she cuts her sections off. I'm not sure of that. Okay. So over here is 4 inches. So let me just mark you. I really miss having my pen here. I really miss having my pencil here. I like having my red pencil here. But everything is, you know, I'm all turned around from being sick, and I don't have things where they should be, and they're always across the room. So I didn't bring my little, what's that thing called? It's not in here either. I didn't bring my little pencil case that I had with me in this bag, and I must have moved the bag and put the pencil case. I don't even see it anywhere. I'm a mess. But this is real life. I mean, if you're not into, you know, curate it makes you feel like a little bit like you don't know what the heck you're doing because you're not that neat, you're at the right place. You're at the right spot. You're with me. So this is nice because it'll cover a line. Why am I trying to do it that way? Oh, this is nice, this skinny washi. Just got to get it to go down. I have the feeling, though, it might look pretty, but this is why I don't use washi tape. It might look pretty, but I can feel it already. It's not going to stay down on here. Go up as high as I can. There we go. If you come off, you come off. This is how we do it, baby. This is how we do it. And I'm backwards again with this ruler. I love this ruler. I use it for so many things. Oh, it's right in the crease mark. How about that? That was easy. Thank you. Jesus is giving me a break today. I like that this is as wide as the line. I might just invest in skinny washi tape. If you behave. If you're going to drive me nuts when I'm diamond painting, you're going to go, I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Like I said, it's not about neatness here. It's about functionality. It's about working. All right. Now I need my pen. And then we can get started. And I'll show you my little case that I'm using. And then we'll get started on some Self-Care Sunday and what the week brought us this week. Okay. Here we go. Dangerous. Look how dangerous that is. Where's the lid? See, look. See what it's doing? This is why I have no patience. And I'm not going to start walking around with a glue stick. I was doing that for a while. Okay. You're pretty, but you can't just be pretty. That's what my father used to say to me. Elisa, you can't be pretty. Just be pretty. You have to have something to say when you walk in the door. You can't be pretty either. You got to be able to do something. I'm used to working with these because I did a lot of fussy cutting in my day when I was a rubber stamper. And then I use again my aligner to make that crease. And I really don't need a cover minder because, again, like you guys, if you were with me yesterday, you know I get distracted by sparkly things. Okay, so what we did yesterday was I unboxed my 2 pens that I have here by Ms. Creations by Danny. This is polymer clay. She made these 2. And so in this one, I have her blueberry wax, her blueberry cheesecake wax. And in this one, I have the wax that she sent over as like a freebie. So we were using that, and I was like, the wax is too sticky, but maybe not. Maybe it is that canvas is not sticky enough. And in here, I have my Art Dot Putty. I have my Art Dot Putty mix. And this I just keep. I love this. This comes from Dreamer Designs. I always put an aligner on because I use my aligners a lot. I only use this with water. Summer's coming. Wax sweats. Putty gets snotty. I use water, and I pick up all my drills with just water. I have plenty of tips on that. So What do I have on top here? Did I tell you guys? Oh, blue putty, because I was like, I'm over it. I'm over it. And these skinny placers came with the pens that Danny sent over. I do have another unboxing of pens coming, and that is from, oh, let me not, I messed up her name the last time. Let me not mess it up again. But I was looking for, I moved everything to sit down. I was looking for Danny's blueberry cheesecake wax. Where did you go? I was demoing yesterday with the putty. If you can't use it, just put a little piece of it on something. And of course, I put it on here just to give you like a sample. You know, if you have those putties and they're not working, you can use them for other things. I use them to hold things down on my desk because of the cat. And I use them to tack things up. So I was just doing a little demo. So this is blueberry cheesecake. So blueberry cheesecake is in the pink one. I figured I would be able to remember that. And I'm doing it just the way I see Katie do it. She kind of like loads this pen, and then any, you know, overflow she gets rid of. Okay. And then I usually have a trash drill, or I have my little, where'd he go? My little Timu little, and I use the top of his crown to like push things in. You see, so I don't get that wax on my drill. Okay. And then I have this sample one that she sent me, which is here. And I have it in the gray one. So, I know, I got back to wax. I was like, I don't know, I haven't used wax for a while. I felt like I wasn't very good at it. And, you know, and I like to glue a little bead on top of these so that I have them as, you know, when I shut the lid, I could just do it and not have to be looking for my bear. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? What'd you do? What'd you see? Okay. So you're done. You're done. You're ready. Here's my cuticle nipper, just in case anything I don't have is my light board. Okay, you guys. Light board is on. Coffee's on the warmer. This light board button, I gotta get a cover for that. And I had bought these cases a while ago from Amazon. And I like that I'm able to write on the top. I wrote with my China marker. You can write with a crayon. It'll come right off. Sun ray. And something I wrote. And one, I don't know. Sun rays and something. I don't know. Can't read my own handwriting, so you know when I was transcribing, I love you guys. So I think this is just an extra one here for this color here. And what I like about these is there was only 29 colors. There's 30 of these little containers in here. There's only 29 colors. I separate my light color drills, which are printed in black on the left, and my dark color drills that are printed in white. Your dark color drills are printed in white. They're your shade colors. They're the colors that you outline with. They're the darkest color. I usually start with black, but anyway. So what I like about these is that you pinch them to snap them open, and they close. I think I was getting this ready to take with me to Florida. I just might. It'll be, you know, something that I can work on while I'm in Florida, but I like it for Self-Care Sunday. It has 2 Z. What's Z? And K. So 3 special drills. Let me see. Z and K. I don't know. I don't know what everybody's symbols are for. Do they write it on here? Okay, so this is a K. Oh, this looks like oh, this looks like a metallic. Oh my gosh, look how gorgeous that is. Oh my god. And what are the Z's? Did they write them on here? This is a K. This is E. We're actually working with E too. And what are these? 993 and let me see. Are they dark or light? They're dark colors, so they're on that side. It's the 28 and 29. Oh, 28 and 29. I actually have them in order. And then this is, what is this? Z762? Oh, it looks like a fairy dust. Yeah, it's like a fairy dust. Very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with the darkest color, and there's only one on this side with this starting this block. There's only one shade color, and it's an H, and I think it's the demarcation line. Oh, wow. Oh, so the rest of them are, see what's going on with this? Thank God it's Self-Care Sunday, folks. So I still always start with my shade colors. H. Look how pretty. All right. Do I want to use one of my Art Dot containers since this is just so little? And I do want to try those waxes to make sure that it was the canvas on Café Terrace at night. Because I felt like it wasn't. So this is blueberry cheesecake. It wasn't, and of course my hand hit the light. It wasn't letting go of the drill. Oh, well, it is sticky. Oh, see, I still got some of that wax on there. That drives me crazy. Gonna get your brush. No, the wax is pretty sticky. Let's just see how we progress here. I want to get started with this color before I have to change. Oh, where did you come from? You're not the right color. Goodbye. Put you in my little trash tray over here. You'll get your nail brush later. Oh, really sticky. I'm going to work this line. I'm going to work this line until the end just to see if I find a little bit of a groove here with this wax. Maybe it's just the first few. I have to remind myself to put a trash drill on top. Glue a little trash drill on top so that I would be multi-placing right now, but you know how it is. I'm testing out the wax, and then I'm going to test out I think I actually liked the other wax that she put in the kit, and I'll tell you why. I think when you buy these waxes that have scents in them, they have the oils in them, and they just interfere with the tack. They have to. They interfere with the makeup of the. Very nice. Oh my gosh, I miss my round drills. I miss my Diamond Art Club drills too. They have the best drills. I'm sorry, but they do. So this is working very nicely. I just had to get the little kink out, that's all. The little starter wax, that's all it needed to just get itself worked out. And then I'll just brush away when we're done diamond painting. I use my nail brush to brush away any, little residue like this. I don't want to do it now. The block is not done. And I want to get wax everywhere. I don't want to be brushing my canvas. I did upload late. Well, it wasn't even last night. It was 1:30 in the morning. And I was like, should I just let it go until tomorrow? I'm like, it is tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, but it's Self-Care Sunday. And like, and then I just was like, it's 1:30 in the morning. You're worried about algorithms and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, just get it done, Just get it done. Stop worrying about these other things. Everybody's out. There we go. So then usually what I do is I work around my shade colors into what's next. And I really want to use that K. Do I want to pick up a metallic just right now? I think I want to do the line. I'm going to do the E, even though I think E is a special drill. I'm going to have to use that Art Dot Buddy. Here's H. Yeah, E is a special drill too. All right, let's see how you. So pretty, right? Line up nicely, always shiny. I don't have any washi tape in here. Should start doing that. All right, let's see how you pick up special drills as a wax. Very nice. I'll do one more, and then I want to switch pens because I want to test out the other wax. Okay, very nice. But I have my Art Dot Blue on here. I have no problem with my Art Dot Blue. It just, oh gosh, it just is, it's so lovely. I love this putty. See how nice it releases. Do I have, is this the, oh no, the other one's the mixed. Okay, so let's switch pens. This one has the, oh no, yeah, this one has the sample wax in there. I'm just doing that just to like, I don't want to get wax on these. Okay, oh, picked up nice. Yeah, I think you just got to start. How come I don't see anybody else have this problem? Did they do that off camera? Did they do it off camera, do you think? Okay, it was just the first few. But I was having a problem with Café Terrace at night. It wasn't letting go of the drill, and I think it was because the canvas is not sticky enough, and I think that it just couldn't grab it. I don't like touching my canvases, but this has a, like, I can't do that with Café Terrace. I can't do that. It'll just let go. So there's another little test happening. Get these down, and then when we get into a juicy spot, we'll get into Self-Care Sunday. Oh gosh, so that's going to be a line here. Oh, I think that these separate each different color. Oh, how pretty. I really like this. Like I said, I saw this on Queen of Diamonds, and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, I never really, and I believe that this is a beginner kit. I don't think that I ever started with a beginner kit. I think that I was just so morally ambitious. I love the craft, and you know, well, my first Diamond Art Club purchase was the Winter Fox. Yeah, okay. I was working on those early days where you didn't know anything about licensing, and I was working on Temu. I thought I was a pro, and I went and got the Winter Fox. That was my first Diamond Art Club kit. And then I almost fainted on camera when I saw it was a square, because I had never worked squares. And it was funny. That's a funny video. I was just so happy. I felt like such a big girl that I had a Diamond Art Club kit. I was just over the moon. So now K is, this is going to confuse me. The symbol K and K as a, I'm so dyslexic, you guys. It's not even funny. I think what I'm going to do too is switch to one of my other trays. And I love my Firefly, but I don't like the spout on this one, so I keep it open, and I have to remember to put my hand over it, or they'll come flying out all over the place. So I think I'm going to now use the putty mix. It's blue and pink and purple. That was my way of solving my problem with blue, pink, and purple putty. You got to do it works. Okay. And I was using it last night, and I was like, wow. Why didn't I think about this sooner? And I could have had this on camera, but, you know. Oh, it's working nice. You're still working nice. Oh, gosh, I miss my rounds. I do. I miss you. I don't want to go anywhere now. I just want to stay in my room and paint. Do I have to go to this reunion? I have one extra one here. I'm just really tired, you guys, you know. I'm just still really tired. And why'd you want to come off? What are you doing to me here? See, the gods are always listening. Calliope is crashing to the ground. We had this conversation, John and I, last night, and it was such a good conversation. I was like, oh God, I should be filming this because, you know, he writes his own music too, my husband. And so we were discussing Blinded by the Light. That was actually written by Bruce Springsteen, but it was Manfred Mann that actually recorded Blinded by the Light. And, you know, I love the lyrics. I love the way Bruce Springsteen, you know, put these phrases in that make you like, what's a curly whirly? And it's a car. And we were talking about Calliope, you know, crashing to the ground. It could be an object, or it could be Muse's daughter, who was the oldest of 9 daughters that he had with, it wasn't his sister Hera. He was a little rascal. I can't pronounce her name. Oh, I could see it in front of me too anyway. But anyway, Calliope was the oldest. And me and John were having this conversation. He really knows about the Muses. And Calliope is she's a goddess of like poetry and lyrics and art and music. So stay close, Calliope. Stay close. Don't go crash into the ground. Oh my God, I'm so happy. This is joy. This is joy. Okay, let's get the book out. I'm not going to get the book out. I'm going to keep diamond painting. I'm going to put this on the side, and I'm going to get my Apple iPad out because everything is written out. At least I just want to go through what we did talk about during the week. Posts. Here we go. And this was my membership post. So the visibility is for my members. Okay. So what did we talk about? We talked about, I wanted to, well, this was a public post, and this is from Prince, and his birthday's coming up. And he was so ahead of his time, and I believe I'm going to tell you about this because this is a good Self-Care Sunday post too. Our consciousness is programmed. We see things a certain way from a young age. We're programmed to keep doing them that way, and it has to do with this week. Then you have to spend adulthood learning how to overcome it, to read out the programs. Try to create. I want to tell people to create. Just start by creating your day, then create your life. And I tell you that, you guys, this all the time because, did I write something in here? Create the world you want to live in. That was my tagline that came from learning from the best, from Prince and from Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe. Some of you know him as. You might know him from With the Bleep. I think that's where he got really notoriety. And he talked about creating your day. He talked about how he gets up in the morning and he creates his day. He visualizes his day. And I think when you do that, it's pretty much like journaling. It's pretty much like the artist's way, which I'm a student of. When you get up in the morning and you write and you dump from your mind all the baggage. It's like you're siphoning off this repetitive programming that you do because it's like you have the same things on your mind. So when you do it the artist way and you write stream of consciousness and you just write, you're not thinking, you're just writing. What am I, let me look at what I'm thinking about by my handwriting. And that's a totally different thing. When you look at what you're writing at, that's why when I am going through my own struggles, I have such a hard time writing. I rely on my writing so much, but sometimes I don't even want to look at what the heck I'm thinking about because I get even more upset. But when you write things down, and like Dr. Joe was saying, like he visualizes, but like I need to write out my day. And once you get all that junk that you're walking around with, your stream of consciousness. Your writing starts out as a stream of consciousness, but then after you dump all the garbage that you're carrying around that's laying on the top of your brain, and you get deeper into the recesses of your mind, is when you really start to listen to yourself, and you start to hear of like what's buried underneath all this stuff. That's where the real creating happens at. And then you start to make these connections. I've always found my writing to be very serendipitous. I always found that, oh, if I was paying a little bit more attention, I would have caught this when it was happening. But okay, I'm seeing it now in my writing. And like, I start to see these dots start to connecting when I'm writing. And I like that post, and I posted it for you guys. I do still follow the official Prince channel, because they do have clips of Prince, and I love seeing him perform, but I always loved hearing him speak. He was talking, I think I caught another one this week where he was saying, I think it was Arsenio Hall that was actually interviewing him, and no, it wasn't Arsenio Hall. There's a few people that have interviewed him that it's really interesting. Arsenio Hall, Chris Rock. Chris Rock is really, 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 really young. But he was talking about, it doesn't take much to decipher whether someone is writing music to uplift or discourage. And the interview was trying to say, well, this person gets a bad rap for their music, and this person gets a bad, is that what you're talking about? And he's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, you make up your own mind. You know what I mean? That music might uplift you. I guess that's what he was trying to say. But he's saying it doesn't take much to all you have to do is listen. Is this person uplifting what they're talking about, what they're singing about? Or are they discouraging you in some way? I think that was like during the time when, I think it was Tipper Gore that really went on a tangent and a crusade about having music with like a rating on it, much like a movie. Like, these lyrics are explicit. They should be marked explicit. Parents should know what their kids are listening to. Yeah, she had her point. She certainly did. I'm going to try and practice my sideways stuff here. But I was drawn to that quote because of the reading that we had during the week. I think, was it March 27th? March 26th. We talked about where the light gets in. That was last week. And that's a reading that, that line is a line that Mark Nepo uses a lot. He uses where the light gets in. That's from Leonard Cohen's song Anthem. And it resonated with him absolutely. And he uses it a lot in his book about where the light gets in and the cracks, where you break. And you do have to break to grow. You do have those moments where if you don't shed the skin, something's going to happen where you start to change is inevitable. No one gets away from it. You're going to be a different person after every session that you sit down and you diamond paint. I'm a different person. I learned something more. I might get frustrated, but it pushes me to challenge myself, to troubleshoot. So change is happening, but this week was all about going back to my own reflections on, that was Leonard Cohen. Okay. My own reflection of that I was, drawn to this week. And the one that I was really drawn to this week was The Gift of Shedding. That was one think that was Thursday's reading, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I think that was Thursday's reading. I have something on here. Where's my cuticle nipper? And that one moved me the most because it reminded me that, you know, change isn't always easy for me. And I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, even with our favorite diamond painting companies, when they change something, we get a little bent sometimes, you know. Why did they change this? You know, why don't they bring this back? Don't change a winner. That was another message that I had this week, not to change a winner. I learned that when I was in the restaurant business, that, you know, I don't have to, you know, I just need a few winners on my menu. And because I want to keep creating doesn't mean I have to take that one off the menu to make room for something else, you know. But it reminded me that change has never been easy for me, and that I resist even when I know it's necessary. But it reminded me of all the ways that we are changing, either consciously or subconsciously. We're changing, like I just described, you know, with each session that you take to diamond paint. For me, it's a meditative process, so I always read something like from Book of Awakening, and then I do some diamond art, and I'm thinking about what I've read. I love that Mark Nepo puts these little exercises in the back of the book not in the back of the book, at the end of the chapter, to give you something to think about, like guide you a little bit. And so that's, you know, that's my process. So I have something to think about when I'm diamond painting, and then I'll sit down and I'll write. I write in the morning, and then I read, and then I do my diamond painting, and then I, you know, go back and I write what the reflection was on this particular day. So I think that, you know, even like listening to an audiobook, you end the chapter and you're changed in some way. You know, I just got done reading the one that I was reading, which was from Napolitano, which was, oh gosh, what was it called? I'm getting confused with other things. Oh my God. I just read it about the four sisters in Chicago. You know, there were things that I recognized in that book that I'm like, you know, some things you feel so alone. You don't think that other people have this type of experience. So it was good to have like some sort of validation. So you walk away from this book being one person when you're, or walk away from the chapter being one person when you're reading, and then another when the chapter's done. Now I'm reading her next book. It's called The Wedding People. And I don't want that to go off. And I'm telling you, did you ever watch or read something where I had to stop what I was doing because I was like, was this lady living with me when I was going through my divorce? It was so spot on. Everything that she was saying that this main character did was what I did. And it was so unnatural for me to be behaving this way because I didn't behave that way, where I just was like, I think when women make up their mind and they decide to leave, they've done a lot of thinking. They've done a lot of thinking, and you know, that's it. They're packing, they're taking the kids, they're walking out the door. They're not coming back. They've tried all the ways that they want to try and save the marriage or save whatever it is they're going through, and then they're just like, I'm done. When a woman says she's done a lot of thinking, and she's done a lot of changing, and she's tried a lot of different ways before she says, I'm done. And like, I had never really, like, maybe I got that message quicker when I was younger. I didn't put up with a lot. I was just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Go find somebody else to torture. You know what I mean? But the beginning of that book, The Wedding People, and I think it's supposed to be a little bit funny too, because I need some levity these days. Just some lightheartedness. I've been thinking about a lot of things lately, and so, you know, I want to just have some easier things to go through. But it also, that the shedding of the gift of shedding reminded me also, I have it here, it brought me back to my time teaching yoga. At the start of a class, I would often tell my students, leave your shoes, your coat, your worries at the door. They'll be there for you, of course, when you leave. You put your coat back on, you put your shoes back on. But what you walked into the yoga studio with, you don't have to pick back up. You can leave it here. It could be your I'm done moment, But I think in hindsight, I think I would have rather have said to shed the skin, to just take it off, It's kind of like Atlas when he lets the boulder go that he's carrying, the world that he's carrying on his shoulder. I'm getting confused with Blinded by the Light. I'm getting the lyrics of Blinded by the Light in my head. The boulder was in Blinded by the Light, but Atlas was carrying the world. And when I was first, really connecting with my husband, we were friends, first. And when I was telling him a lot of what was going on, John is not one to intrude in anybody's life, but he did see a lot of what was going on. I always thought I had a great poker face. I realized that I really don't. So he had said to me, Lisa, I'm not one to interfere, but I could see that there's a lot going on with you. I've known you for years. We've gone to school together. I've known you for years. And I'm going to give you one of my greatest lessons, and it comes from Atlas Shrugged. And just let it go. Just shrug your shoulders. Stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. So I wish that I would have used the language with my students to say, to shed that skin, to shed what no longer serves you, your burdens, your tension, your fear, leave them behind, not to be picked up again, but when you shed, it's transformational. And that small shift in language, and it's something else that I'm aware of, is the words that I use, especially when I'm talking to myself or I'm thinking about something. The words that you use are so powerful. Like just leaving something behind, my mind is like, well, if I leave it behind, who's going to alchemize what I left behind? When I was reading The Artist's Way, and again, this is one of those moments, I carried The Artist's Way around with me for years. I never opened the book. I just liked the cover. And I knew it was a book on writing. I knew it was a book on homework, which I love homework. I always loved carrying a book and a journal and writing. But I really wasn't a journaler yet. In the proper way of being a journaler. Just like a little piece of fuzz on there. And so I think that's when I became a journaler, when I took a class in the New York Open Center called Journal to the Self by Kathleen Abrams, and she actually taught the class. Then I became a journaler. And that had a lot to do with shedding what my old beliefs were about being a journaler. You're not Jane Austen. You don't need a leather-bound journal and a fountain pen. We romanticize because we're creative. And when Kathleen Abrams was like, just go out and go get a composition book because you're not going to feel like you have to be perfect in writing in it. Everything just let go for me. I became a journaler. Oh, what are we doing here? Why are you not letting go? I see these like little pieces of wax. That's what I'm picking up, like these little fuzzies over here. Like there's little pieces of wax. Yeah, so I think when I'm writing, I do really think about the language that I'm using because I know how much power. It's like a small shift and it carries so much power. I've used this before. I've told you guys about this before. Again, when I was teaching yoga, I had somebody that was in the military, and for me, I don't like the words let go. It's like a trigger for me. I still don't know why, but I was using the word surrender. And, for somebody that's in the military, that means something totally different. And he couldn't let go because he's programmed not to surrender. He's programmed to, serve and protect. It's a different language for him. So that's always my greatest example about watching the language that you choose. So I think because I didn't get the opportunity to really express that word shed to my students, I have the opportunity to share that with you. Just saying, leave your stuff at the door. For me, like I said, I would be like, well, I'm leaving something behind. Like, who's going to pick that up? And when I was reading The Artist's Way, when I finally picked the book up, it began with Julia Cameron talking about walking the streets of Manhattan in an area that I was working. And I had the same thought walking the streets of Manhattan. Like, how many footsteps am I walking on? What kind of energy am I picking up from whoever left whatever behind? Because there's a lot of heartbreak in New York. A lot of people go there with a dream, and very few make it. And, it always made me think of, especially the area that I was working in, a very creative area. Well, all of New York is just a one big fireball of energy, but in this area that I was in, I kept thinking about, all these people, like so many people in New York. You're like shoulder to shoulder with people in New York. All this energy. And I really thought about this when I was living there, and also when I was coming home to Philly. As the train was approaching Philly, and then I would take an Uber to my home from 30th Street Station. By the time I got home, I knew that I had to get things in the house that I would need for the few days that I was going to be there, but I was like so tired. I would crawl in my bed and I would stay there for 2 days, and then it would be like, what do you want to do? Do you want to pee or do you want to get something to eat? I was so tired, like I couldn't do both. I was like, well, you better go to the bathroom and go pee, because... And then try and get the energy to get something to eat. You didn't realize how much energy New York really takes out of you until you live there. It'll feed you, but you are in this constant movement, constant momentum, and you need to really shed very quickly when you're in New York. And so like that's where I left off at with the gift of shedding. And I also read, but I didn't put my thoughts up of what keeps us from shedding. If you know that you have to change and you resist it, why is it? And I believe that, and just like Mark Nepo says, that sometimes, no matter how useful or inevitable, shedding has its own pain, because it's hard. It's hard to let go of what you know, even if you know it's not serving you. We kind of fall into those routines, like Prince said, we're programmed. And he used different words where he was like, you got to what did he say? Because we're using different, I'm using a different language that he did, but the message was still the same. He said, we're programmed to keep doing them. Then you have to spend adulthood learning how to overcome it, to read out the programs. Yeah, but I think it's a way of I think I let go of those ways of always needing to understand things. Like, listen, you're just not working. I'm letting it go. I don't really need to understand everything. It'll come to me when it's ready. Like they say, when you're ready, the teacher will appear or the student will appear. It's kind of like something like that. But I think that it's not surprising that there are many feelings peculiar to human beings that prevent us from shedding what has ceased to work, including fear, pride, nostalgia, a comfort in the familiar, like I just said, and a want to please those we love. That's the biggest thing. And I see this with kids that go to college because their parents expect them to go and be a doctor or a lawyer or, give up that part of themselves that's screaming to get out and like, I don't want to do this. You got to shed, what your parents, this programming that they did from when you were a young child, that this is what you were going to be or become. This is your life. Your life. Your parents can't live your life. You can't live your children's life either. Often we give up our right to renewal to accommodate the anxiety of those around us. So much so. And then I think he went into a story about the Milesians and the New Hebrides contend that this is how we lost our immortality. Sir James Fraser preserved their story. It seems at first human beings never died, but cast their skins like snakes and crabs and came out with youth renewed. But after a time, a woman growing old went to a stream to change her skin. According to some, she was in Ulta Marama, change skin of the world. I don't know. Like now I'm going into like, I don't know much about that, but it makes me think of like a shift shaper. But I don't think in this context. She threw her old skin in the water and observed that as it floated, it caught on to a stick. Then she went home, where she had left her child. But the child refused to recognize her, crying that its mother was an old woman, not this young stranger. So to pacify the child, she went after her old skin and put it on. From that time, human beings ceased to cast their skins and died. And so we cease to shed what's dead in us in order to soothe the fear of others. We remain partial. When we cease to surface our most sensitive skin simply to avoid conflict with others, we remove ourselves from all that is true. Absolutely. When we maintain ways we've already discarded just to placate the ignorance of those we love, we lose our access to what is eternal. So again, Mark Nepo puts these questions at the end. Sit quietly and ask yourself what voices are asking you to keep your old skin and not to change. Center yourself and ask, what is the cost to you for not renewing your connection with all that is eternal? That's your homework. That's your homework for Self-Care Sunday today. Now, I know that was yesterday's reading, and I'm going to put my reflections in the member section, probably when I get home from this reunion, even though I'm having so much joy doing this. But my husband bought these tickets a while ago, and one of our friends is DJing, so I'm there for all that. I can't just say, like, go yourself. I want to stay here and do this. That wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't be enjoying myself knowing that, I didn't accompany my husband to his reunion. But I am thankful and grateful that I don't have to get dressed. I'm like already tired. I'm already tired just from my little adventure here in my art room. I don't even know how long I've been talking. Oh, 109. All right. I'm going to put the pen down because I got you guys here over an hour. But we covered a lot of ground, didn't we? With waxes and putties and a new canvas for Self-Care Sunday. I think I'm going to take this out every Self-Care Sunday. I love this canvas. I love working with these drills. I love that I was able to make a concoction here of all different putties that is now working. It has a little blue, a little pink, mostly blue, a little pink, a little purple. It makes me feel like I'm not being wasteful. And hold on one second. I just wanted to be able to say goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. I will be taking out Ivan Nakachov's Vision of the Past. I did a video for that, get to know the artist and find the hidden gems in the painting. He saw that, and I'm always looking at it because it's hanging on my door. I love it. He saw that, he watched the video, and he commented on it. And I'm like still over the moon about that. And so I'm going to be taking that out. But then I looked at it again last night, and I found other little hidden gems in there that I want to go through with you guys. I have more comments from members and from people that sub to my channel that I want to go through with you guys, really good points and stuff that I want to share. And so it'll be like a magical day tomorrow. I just see so much magic in that painting, and even looking at it from a distance, it just comes alive. Let me just show you real quick. It's hanging. There's another portrait in front of it, but let me zoom in on it. Look at my crazy art room. No, you don't want to see that one. You want to see Ivan. So there it is. There's another portrait sitting on top of it. But look at the color and the vibrancy of what I've completed. Look at the different color washi tape. I'm just not a washi tape person. I will be taking that all off. It is becoming so distracting to me. That will be gone by tomorrow, hopefully. The gods, like I said, the gods are always listening. And Calliope, stay close. But I was looking at it again last night, and I'm like, oh my God, look at this. And then John was like, what are you looking at? And I'm like, look at this, look at this. And he's like, oh my God, that's fascinating. I'm like, isn't it? So I'm going to show you guys. And one of my members, I can't remember who, wait, everything is all twisted around here. See, I can't touch anything. One of my members said, I can't remember who it was. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Said, I think that this was a couple weeks ago. She said, I think that we should have an Ivan event somewhere this year. And I was like, I agree, because I know so many people that just love his portraits. I am not a surreal artist fan. I've never been, but he just draws me in. I think because it looks so much like a photograph that has been altered, and I shared some of my photographs that I did, almost not anything like that, but I've always been a photographer, and I've always altered my photographs, whether to make them look older or distressed. And this is like before filtering. And I had a few pictures that I did in this kind of tone, but this is something that draws me in. A canvas has to have meaning to me, and Vision of the Past reminds me of when my life was split in two between New York and Philadelphia, and I loved my bedroom in Philadelphia, and it looked a lot like that. I had a beautiful bed. It was the centerpiece of my room, and we're both in Philadelphia, me and John, but my house is like an old Philadelphia house, and so it's very, you feel like you step back in time. And when I was looking at this portrait, I was like, there's so many juxtapositions in this canvas. And one of them was the feeling of being in my bed in Philadelphia, but looking out the window and looking at New York. Because I always said the only way I would move to New York is if I could take my bedroom with me. And that ain't happening, because I would need a city block in New York just to fit my bedroom. So that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow if you're interested. And if you want a little bit more Self-Care Sunday and my, writings on my reflections of Book of Awakening, come and join us in the member section. We'd love to have you. We're a fun group. We have a lot of fun. And I will see you, as always, in the next one, and keep creating that world that you want to live in. Visualize it, write it, create it.